Hello children, how are you all today? Today we are going to read the story Little Cock Feather Frock. Wow, it seems a very interesting name. Little Cock Feather Frock. Let's see what we have inside it. Once upon a time, there was a cat, a blackbird, and a cocker. Once upon a time, there was a cat, a blackbird, and a cockerel. And they all lived together in a little hut in the forest. Every day, the cat and the blackbird would go out into the forest to search for food. And every day, the cockerel would stay at home and mind the house. Lock the door, the cat would say. Sit by the stove, the blackbird would say. And if old Foxy comes knocking at the door, don't let him in. They both said together. Well, the days passed and the weeks passed, and all was well and good until one fine morning when old Foxy did come knocking at the door. Knock, 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 little cock feather frock. A pea would be yours if you unlock the doors. The cockerel loved peas, and the chance of a sweet green pea straight from the pot was too good to miss. He stepped across the floor and clack, click, he opened the door, and old Foxy scooped him into his sack. Into my sack, on to my back, my sweet little feathery supper. Ooh. The poor cockerel began to shout, "Help, help, brother blackbird! Dear cat! Cat on a witch! Old Foxy has scooped me into his sack. He's carrying me off to the back of beyond for his sweet little feathery supper." Then the cat and the blackbird, who were not far from the little hut, heard the cockerel, and they chased old Foxy away. And soon the cockerel was safe home, crooning and preening his ruffled feathers. The next morning the cat said, "Lock the doors," and the blackbird said, "Sit by the stove." And they both said, "And if old Foxy comes knocking at the door, don't let him in." But they hadn't been gone for long when old Foxy did come knocking at the door. Knock, 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 little cock feather frock. A nut would be yours if you opened the doors. The cockerel loved nuts, and the chance of sweet brown hazelnut straight from the shell was too good to miss. He stepped across the floor and clack, clack, he opened the door. The old Foxy scooped him into his sack. Into my sack, onto my back, my sweet little feathery supper. Help, help, brother blackbird, dear cat! Cat on a witch! Old Foxy has scooped me into his sack. He's carrying me off to the back of beyond for his sweet little feathery supper. This time, the cat and the blackbird had gone a long way from home in search of food. But they heard the cockerel's voice very faintly, and they chased old Foxy away. And soon the cockerel was safe home, crooning and preening his ruffled feathers. The next morning, it was the same again. Lock the doors, sit by the stove, and if old Foxy comes knocking the door, don't let him in. But sure enough, old Foxy did come knocking at the door. Knock, 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 little cock feather frock. A loaf would be yours if you open the doors. The cockerel loved bread, and the chance of a sweet fresh loaf straight from the oven was too good to miss. He stepped across the floor and clack click he opened the door. And old Foxy scooped him into his sack, into my sack, onto my back, my sweet little feathery supper. Help, help, brother Blackbird, dear cat, cotton cabbage. Old Foxy has scooped me into his sack. He is carrying me off to the back of beyond for his supper, little feathery supper. But this time the cat and the blackbird had gone a long, long way from home in search of food. They were so far away that they didn't hear the cockerel shouting. And when they came back to the hut at the end of the day, the door was open and the cockerel was gone. Oh dear, oh dear. They looked here and there, and soon enough they saw old Foxy's footprints on the ground. They followed those footprints through forest and over mountains until they came to the back of beyond, and the footprints led straight to the door of old Foxy's house. The cat and the blackbird began to sing. Foxy, dear Foxy, are you within? Your two old sisters are come visiting. Well, inside the house, old Foxy had put the cockerel on the plate, and he was just sharpening his teeth and making ready to eat his supper when he heard the song. He pricked up his ears and he listened again. Foxy, dear, are you within? Your two old sisters are come visiting. That's strange, old Foxy thought to himself. I didn't think I had any sisters. He stepped across the floor, and clack, click, he opened the door. And the cat scratched his nose, and the blackbird scratched his eyes, and the cockerel jumped from the plate and pecked his red tail from behind, and the old Foxy was so afraid that he turned and ran away. He ran and ran from the back of beyond, and he was never seen again. And as for the cat and the blackbird and the cockerel, they journeyed back over mountains and through forest until they were safe home in the little hut. And soon enough, little cock, Feather Frock, was crooning and preening his ruffled feathers. And as far as I know, he still is. And that was the end of that story. But still, what is the end of this story, children? That you have to listen to your elders. When they are saying you know, it means no. If you are not listening to them, you can get into the trouble. And I hope you won't want yourself to be in the trouble. So you should listen to your trouble. You should listen to your elders means that you should not get into the troubles. Do you want to get into the troubles? I hope no. So listen to your elders. Listen to your elders what they are saying you and obey them. Hope you enjoyed the story. See you next time with another story. Bye bye.